Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, hope you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIVS Homeschool. This is Muhammad Emdadul Haque, Assistant Teacher of Mathematics, National Ideal English Version School, Day Shift. Dear students, today I am here to conduct a math class of class 7. This is the 6th class of annual examination. In this class, our today's topic is exercise 1.2 basic discussion. Exercise 1.2 basic discussion. It means that in this topic we will learn some basic concept and then we will see how to solve some problems using these basic concepts. Okay, let us start. Dear students, in the half yearly exam you have learned this topic. I am taking this class a basic discussion again in annual to remind the topics so that you can solve the problems related to this topic easily. You may forget the rules. For this I am taking this class again. Okay. Now in this class at first I will discuss square root of decimal fraction. Square root of decimal fraction. Dear students, to make you understand this topic, at first I am writing a decimal number, then I will say the rules which is applicable to do the square root or take the square root of a decimal fraction. So at first I am writing a decimal number. The number is 641.1024. The students, you know how to do the square root of a whole number. Before the decimal part, in the left side of the decimal, you are looking a whole number, that is 641. If I say to do the square root of this, at first you will indicate the pairs of digits from right to left. From right to left, you will indicate the pair of digits by a bar sign, or by a line segment. Okay. Then here is only one digit, so it is not necessary to give the bar here. No need to give bar above of the digit 6. Then, but this number has the digits after the decimal. So we should use this bar sign after the decimal also. To use this sign, we have to take each pair from left to right. From left to right. So we can write 1, 0 is a pair, 2, 4 is another pair. If there is another digit here after this digit, suppose here is 5, then we have to take bar. How can we take bar? After decimal to take bar, we can use a 0 here and we can write this in this way. Okay. The students, now I will show how can we do the square root of this number. So give a line here at first. I think you know this, how to do. At first consider this 6. At first consider 6. 6 is the integer, and which number near to 6 is a perfect square, you have to know. We know 1 is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, 9 is a perfect square. So after 4 the perfect square is 9. So we can consider 9, we have to consider 4, as here the digit is 6. We have to take the number the perfect square which is smaller than 6. So we have to consider 4. So 4 is a perfect square here. If we write 4, then we have to write the square root of this 4 in the result. Square root of 4 is 2, so we can write 2 in the result. Now 2 to the 4, we have to write the perfect square here, then subtract 2 remaining here. Then after this we have to take each pair, not a single digit, we have to take each pair. So take the first pair. Now the number is 241. To proceed, we have to take 2 times of this quotient, this answer, 2 times of this is 4. Now how many times can we take? We have to use the same digit here and here. You know the rule. Now if we take 5 times, this will be 45. Now multiply this 45 by this 5. So this will be 5 5s are 25. So write 5 here to left, 5 4s are 20 and 2, 22. Now if we subtract, we will get 6 here, 1 here, that is 16. Now we have to take the second pair. To take the second pair, we have to remove the obstacle. Here is an obstacle, the obstacle is a decimal. So we have to consider the decimal in the result. If we consider the decimal in the result, then we can take 2 digit, it means 1 pair. If we take this pair, then we have to make it double again. This will be 50. Now how many times can we take? Check. If we put here any digit, this will be 500 something. This will be 500 something, and as here is 1610, it means near to take 3 times. Now it will be 1509. Now subtract, what will you get? 1 here, and then 0 here, and then 1 here, 101. Then take the next pair, that is 24. Now take the double of this. Don't consider decimal here. You have to take the double of this number without considering the decimal. So this will be 506. 3 2s are 6, 5 2s are 10, 0, 1 left, 2 2s are 4 and 1 5. Now if we take 2 times, so we have to use 2 here also. Now 2 2s are 4, 6 2s are 12, 1 left, 0 2s are 0 and 1, 5 2s are 10. Now if we subtract, this is 0. Dear students, I think you have understood how can we do the square root of a decimal fraction. Now the next topic, that is determination of square root in approximate value. Then I will show this. Consider a number here. Suppose the number is 7. We have to take the square root of 7. We have to take the square root of 7. To take the square root of 7, you know 7 is not a perfect square. So if we take the square root of 7, we will get a decimal number. And see here, after 7 we can use 0 here, 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair. The students, what is the perfect square number just before 7, that is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Now we can write here 3, take 2 digit, 2 point. Now 2 2s are 4. What can we consider? We can consider 6 times now. If we consider 6 times, 6 6 are 36, 3 left, 6 4s are 24 and 3 27. Now subtract, you will get 4 here, 2 here. Now consider next 2 0. Now take the double of 26. This is 52. This is 52. Now how many times can we take? We can take 4 times. If we take 4 times, this will be 4 4s are 16, 4 2s are 8 and 1 9, 4 5s are 20. Now subtract, here you will get 4 0 3. We will get 304 now. Now take next 2 0. Take the double of 264 without considering the decimal. Take the double. It will be 4 2s are 8 and 6 2s are 12. 4 2s are 8, 6 2s are 12 and 2 2s are 4 and 1 5. 528 now double. Now we can consider which digit. If we consider 5 in this place, what will you get? 5 5s are 25, then 5 8s are 40 and 2, 42. Then 5 2s are 10, 5 2s are 10 and 4, 40. Now 5 5s are 25 and 5 5s are 5 2s are 10 and 4 14. Now 5 5s are 25 and 1 26. Now if we subtract, what will you get? 5 here, 7 here and then 13 4 9 and 3 will be here. 3975. What will you get? 3975. As this is not completed here, so we can take another pair of 0 and take another digit. In this way, this square root will be continued. So we can take up to a fixed decimal places. After the decimal we can consider 2 digit or we can consider 3 digit. If the question is find the square root of 7 up to 2 decimal places. Here we have to consider 2 decimal. If we need to consider 2 decimal, then we have to show the 3 digit after the decimal. It means that we need to show 1 digit more, which we need to take 1 digit more than that digit. So as we need to determine 2 digit, we have to do up to 3 digit. If it is necessary to take up to 3 digit, then we need to show another, it means 4 digit after the decimal. Now, our topic is determination of square root in approximate value. Dear students, if you observe this square root, this is finished here as the remaining is 0 here, but this is not finished. Here is remaining. As here is remaining, so this will continue. If this type of square root you will get, that time you may fix up how many digits or how many places after the decimal you want to write. Fix up that digit and do the square root just 1 digit more, just 1 digit more. Then consider the next digit. Here the next digit is 5. You can apply two techniques to write that number up to that places. It means up to the 2 places here after decimal. You have to consider the third digit after decimal. If the third digit is 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, then if we want to write only 2 digit, the approximate value of this square root will be 2.65. It means that we have to add 1 with the previous digit, If the last digit which we want to consider, after that the third digit is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, then we have to consider 1 more in the previous digit. If the next place is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then no need to add 1. This type of square root is known as determination of square root in approximate value. Determination of square root in approximate value. So, square root of a number in approximate value you have to do in this way. Dear students, I hope you have understood this topic. Then I will go to the next topic. Our next topic is perfect square fraction. Dear students, suppose 49 by 121 is a fraction. Here 49 is a perfect square. 49 means 7 square and 121 is a perfect square number, that is 121 means 11 square. You have to remember that a fraction is said to be a perfect square fraction if both the numerator and denominator, is a perfect square number, If both the numerator and denominator is a perfect square number, then the fraction is known as a perfect square fraction. So, 49 by 121 is a perfect square fraction. Okay, dear students, let us see the next topic, square root of a fraction. It means that we have to do the square root of a fraction which may be given. How can we do the square root? If I write, this is a square root sign, if I write a fraction 49 by 121 and take the square root of this fraction, we may solve this easily. 7 square and 121 means 11 square. So, we can write this 7 by 11. So, we can take square root of a fraction. In this way it means that using the or doing the square root of both numerator and denominator. But sometimes it will be difficult for you to do the square root or to calculate the square root of a fraction which is not a perfect square fraction. If the fraction is not a perfect square fraction, that time it will be very difficult for you to do the square root of that fraction. Suppose I am writing a number here, fraction here, that is 6/7. This is a fraction. Suppose we want to do the square root of this fraction. So square root of 6/7 equal to, we can use 6/7. In this case, you have to remember that at first you have to make the denominator a perfect square. At first you have to make the denominator a perfect square. For this, you can multiply the denominator or divide the denominator by the same number, both the numerators and denominators. If we multiply the denominator by 7, so we have to multiply the numerator also 7 to make the value same. It will be 49/42. Now here the denominator is a perfect square. It means that we have to convert the denominator into a perfect square number. This technique at first we have to apply. Then we can write this. Square root of 49 is 7, and here we have to do the square root of 42. So let us see the square root of 42 at first. I will show here. 42, take the square root. You can keep some space to put the 0, and as this is not a perfect square, so we have to use the decimal. We can take the pairs of zeros. Now at first take 6 times, this will be 36, 6 remaining here. Now 6 2s are 12. Now we have to consider this 2 digit. So here we have to put the decimal. Now how many times can we take? Now we can consider 4 times. If we consider 4 times, it will be 4 4s are 16, 4 2s are 8 and 1 9, 4 1s are 4. 496. If we subtract, we will get 104. 104. Now we can consider 8 times. At first take to 0, then consider, take the double. 64 means 128. 100, double of 64 is 128. Then take 8 here. 8 8s are 64. 8 8s are 64. Then 8 8s are 64 and remaining 6 is 70. So 0 here, 7 left. 8 2s are 16 and 7, 23. So 2 left. 8 1s are 8 and 2 10. If we subtract, we will get 96. We will get 96. As remaining here, 96 is remaining here, so we can take more times, or we will get more digits after the decimal. But we want to take just 2 digit, so I am considering 2 digit. After this you will get 0. I will not show that. Then as I am considering 2 digits, so we can consider the square root of 42 is 6.48. 6.48. Just I am taking 2 decimal places. Then we have to divide this by 7 to get the required square root of the fraction. To get the required square root of the fraction, we have to divide this by 7. If we divide this by 7, what will you get? Divide now. Do the division. 6.48 by 7, 0. So 0 here. Now 6, take the decimal, it will be 4. 9 times 63. Now 1 left. 8. Then take 2 times 14. 4 left. In this way, this will continue. It means 0.92 something. In this way, you will get the decimal fraction. So required number you can write 0.92. In this way, this will continue. You can write up to 2 digit or 3 digit after the decimal. This is the square root of a fraction. In this way, you can do the square root of a fraction. Then I will give you some basic concept from the next topic, that is rational and irrational number. Dear students, you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 such type of whole numbers, you know. These whole numbers we can express as fraction, 1 by 1, 2 by 1, 3 by 1. It means that all the whole numbers can be expressed by a fraction or as a fraction whose denominator is 1. Whose denominator is 1. And you have seen some decimal numbers. If you consider 1.5, this decimal number we can express as 15 by 10. If it is 0.25, we can express this by 25 by 100, 25 by 100. It means that the number which we can express as a fraction is known as rational number. So these numbers are rational numbers. These numbers are rational numbers. Now irrational number. Now irrational number. Sometimes we get such type of numbers. Suppose I have shown a numbers here, that is the square root of 7 is 2.645. In this way, this is continuing. So this type of number we can't express as a fraction. We can't express as a fraction. This type of number is known as irrational number. This type of number is known as irrational number. Dear students, you will get irrational numbers if you do the square root of any number which is not a perfect square, which is not a perfect square. If a number is not perfect square, its square root must be an irrational number. If a number is not a perfect square, then its square root must be an irrational number. Dear students, I hope all of you have understood our today's topic. Keep practicing at home. And I have given you 2 questions for your homework. See your homework. Question 1. Find the square root of 26.5225. And next question, find the square root of 9.253 up to 3 decimal places. It means that I have given this question based on your today's lecture. Do this homework in your assigned homework copy and submit your homework next Sunday. Dear students, homework is very, very important for your annual examination, as your CT marks, diary marks, SBA marks will be given based on the performance of your homework. Keep practicing at home, abide by your parents, stay home, stay safe, see you again, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.